Q to Q, 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 Q.
Hi, I'm Natalie Bradley.
And I'm I'm Josh Woodard, filling in for Julia Townsend. And this is Q to Q. And we're here today with Shawn Price, who is currently starring in our current production of Your Good Man, Charlie Brown. Shawn, would you like to explain where we are right now?
We are on the set of Your Good Man, Charlie Brown, at the outside of the Peanuts land, and this here is my doghouse.
Oh.
Okay. So
Giving
then
hints.
Yes, that leads us to our first segment, all about alliteration.
That's right, all about alliteration.
All about alliteration.
Shawn, we're going to give you a letter from the alphabet, and what you're going to have to do...
As opposed to a letter from the post office.
Right, that was a good one. Okay, but anyway, we're going to give you a letter, and you're going to tell us about your role in the production, tell us a little bit about the show, but you have to use the letter that we've given you, use words that start with that letter, as many as you can.
And I'm going to try to keep track.
Okay.
Our current record is 15, held by Ellie Yater. So,
Right,
but that's just because
You
she's
can
the
beat
only
it.
one who's done it.
You can beat
So
it.
see if you can beat 15.
Fantastic.
Ready? Okay, are we going to time him?
No, we'll just
Okay.
have to talk about it.
Oh, well, that's dangerous.
I'll count my
Okay,
fingers.
okay, so what's the letter,
Let
Josh?
me talk as much
What's
as
the
I want.
letter?
Your letter is D.
D.
D as in... Dog?
Dumb.
Oh! Okay.
Doppelganger.
And... Good one. And go.
Well, in the,
So far, nothing.
in the play, dwelling on the delivery of the dog,
Oh.
I do believe has been a very difficult endeavor. I think doing it has been rewarding and demeaning in a sense.
I'm
For
going to ask for further explanation.
Me too.
for looking into the research behind the character has been exhausting and dope. super dope. But also at times delicious. In a sense that it's very tasteful. And I believe that this character has been written for people to do a good job portraying him, and filling the shoes, or pause, if you will, has been very hard. I don't know any words that start with a D.
What about your big number at the end of the show?
Oh, supper time.
Mm-hmm. What do you do during that?
I eat a lot of food in the evening, a lot of supper. There's a synonym for that. Dinner. I eat dinner.
And don't you do a...
I do a big dance number with lots of steps. I do-si-do a little bit. I do the do. I don't. Tap. I don't tap.
And scene.
Yes. I play Snoopy. That's where I was trying.
I was waiting for that.
Yes.
I play Snoopy in the play, and it's been a rewarding endeavor, a rewarding experience. That's the word I was
Yes,
looking for.
yes.
A rewarding experience, just because I'm so in love with dogs so much, and it's been really fun getting into the character specifically. It's just. I haven't had any bad experience with it. If it seemed like that in my explanation, I was just looking for words that started
He's
with
just
a
saying
D.
that because the assistant director is sitting right there. Well, I'm going to give that to you. I counted 16.
Okay.
So that
okay.
means Shawn, our
You
current
beat-
reigning
yeah.
champion.
Yeah.
You beat Ellie Yater.
Good job,
Started
Shawn.
off
Good
strong,
job.
and I just fell.
Way to beat a 16-year-old girl. Shawn.
That's right.
If I were a sitcom.
Okay, Shawn, our next segment is called If I Were a Sitcom. If your life were like a sitcom, what would the title be? Who would play you, and the other surrounding characters. And what would the plot of the show be?
Okay. I think the title of my show would probably be Pathological Liar.
Dun dun dun. Okay.
Not in a sense that I am one, in a sense that my buddies and I, we tell people some of the most harebrained stories, whether or not they are true or not, just to get a laugh out of people. And afterwards we'll be like, oh, that's not true. Or we'll be like, yeah, that really happened, you know? And I feel like that would be a really good angle to hit because most of the time it's really interesting. You know, it can hook people in. And the characters in this show...
Who would play you? That's what I want to know.
Who would play me?
Yeah.
Probably someone who thinks he's way prettier than he actually is. I would like to think Chris Pratt would play me, but I think they would probably cast someone like Jonah Hill. Yeah. I think.
Okay. Who would play your surrounding characters?
The other characters I think would be my best friend Phil, and I think.
Okay, he's playing Phil.
James Franco's playing Phil.
Well, if you got Jonah Hill, you got him.
Yeah, that's why. George Hines, played by probably someone gorgeous like Seth Rogen. I'm gonna say Chris Evans could probably play George, and then my buddy Anthony, and I feel like I would want him to play himself because no one can portray a character like Anthony Frontino. It's impossible.
Well, here is the bonus question. What would the theme song be?
Africa by Toto, but sang by mice. So. And only like 13 seconds of that, and then it's just, he's Shawn at the end.
I give that show 3 episodes.
I know! That many? No,
Yeah.
I'm just teasing.
Pencil Tractor and Mrs. Perry. Woo!
Okay, Shawn, the next segment that we're going to do is called Pencil Tractor and Mrs. Perry.
Okay.
So,
This is my favorite.
yes. So if you had a child, what would you name it? Pencil Tractor or Mrs. Perry? Quickly, and why?
Mrs. Perry.
Why?
Listen quickly. Because I grew up on a farm. I wouldn't want to name my child Tractor because of all the backlash I would get from back home. Like, oh boy, you done named your kid after us. You do really belong down here. I don't think I would name him Pencil just because it seems like a really dumb name for a boy. But Mrs. Perry, I think, is the perfect name for a son. If I were to have a daughter, that would be even better because, you know, Mrs. Perry.
Right.
However, I would kind of want her to marry a man named last name Perry, so she'd be Mrs. Perry Perry.
No, she'd be Mrs. Perry Perry.
That's right, she would!
I'm a visionary, ladies and
Do
gentlemen.
it, and then find that person for her to marry.
Well, see, I have a buddy. His name is Tony Perry.
He could have a kid.
He's already married.
Okay.
And if he has a kid, I'm going to convince him to name her Mrs. Perry.
Mrs. Perry
She
Perry.
will be Mrs. Perry Perry until she gets married. And then she will be married Mrs. Perry Perry. But then when she marries a man with the last name Perry, he could be Harry. So she'll be Mrs. Perry Harry Perry. That's married.
Or if she marries somebody named Perry and then she hyphenates her last name, she'd be Mrs. Perry Perry.
And then she could join a fencing team.
We've ruined this kid's life already.
Rapid fire.
All right, Shawn, our next segment is called Rapid Fire.
Great.
We are going to rapid fire questions at you. These shouldn't take much time for you to answer. They're very quick questions. Just answer the first thing that comes to your head.
Sure.
We're going to bounce back and forth between me and Natalie.
All right,
Okay?
got it.
You start,
Ready?
right?
I'm going to start.
Okay,
Yes,
all
I'm
right.
gonna start. Ready?
Got it.
Peanut butter or jelly?
Jelly.
Do, does, or did?
Did.
Dogs or cats?
Cats.
Donnie.
What? No!
Donnie or Marie?
Who?
Donnie or Marie?
Donnie.
Ice cream with cake, yes or no?
No.
How many cows are in Canada?
Cows. Canada. 5.
Cars or trucks?
Oh, cars.
Minnesota or Missouri?
Missouri.
Pajamas, yes or no?
No.
Did you walk to school or carry your lunch?
I drove. I walked to school.
Butternut squash?
No. What is happening?
You have to pick one.
Butter.
Thank you for tuning in to our interview with Shawn Price. Come and see him in You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown. He plays the role of Snoopy and does a really fantastic job. It's a family-friendly show, and it's just absolutely wonderful. But Shawn, would you like to end with any kind of statement or comment or thought that you would like to share with our viewers?
Sure. I would like to address the fact that I said cats instead of dogs in the rapid fire question. I am very, very sorry to all of my dog friends out there. Zeus, Fido, Rufus, Spot, Toby, Phoebe, Kitty, Gambit. I'm terribly sorry. I didn't mean it. It wasn't a personal thing. However, please come see You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown. It is a great show, and I've very, very, very much appreciated doing it.
Well, thank you, Shawn.
Yes, thank you.
And we'll see you next time.
Q to Q, Q to Q, Q to Q, Q to Q.